Everybody, this is Oleg. Welcome to Oregon Preparedness. Today is 14th of March and it is snowing. It started to snow last night, and while it's a good thing it's warm enough, it's about 34 degrees, so it doesn't really stick to the ground, doesn't stick to the road. It does stick to the ground. As you can see, there is some snow on the ground, and it keeps going. I wanted to point out a couple of things. You know, we are all witnessing now that crap is already hitting the fan. As I showed you in my video yesterday, I was at the local Winco Food and I was trying to buy some extra supplies. I showed you empty shelves. There was nothing left of toilet paper, just a few rolls of paper towels, and water was disappearing fast. The line was just to pay for the merchandise. The line was all wrapped around the aisles. I stood in that line for about 30 minutes just to pay. This was yesterday on Friday afternoon, early afternoon. I wasn't here. I had to go to work in the evening. I'm quite sure in the evening was a lot worse. So what I'm trying to say is crap is hitting the fan, and I also want to tie together this snow with crap hitting the fan in different way, of course. For an example, bugging out. I've mentioned this in my previous videos and I'll say it again. Bugging out should be, in my opinion, last on our list. We may have to do it anyway, eventually, but we should try to survive as long as we possibly can in our houses, in our apartments, wherever we live. Because it's, number one, it's a place with all your supplies, whether you have a little or a lot. If you bug out, you won't be able to take all your supplies with you. Number two, it's safer. No matter what neighborhood you live in, it is safer to stay in your house. Number three, you're in your familiar area, familiar surroundings. If you need to go out for whatever reason, you know your neighborhood, you know places, stores, what might sell what, and so on and so forth. So needless to say, it is better to bug in versus bug out as long as possible, in my opinion. However, if we do have to bug out, I think, unless you're bugging out in the middle of July, I think snow is something you need to take in consideration. Because, for an example, snow, you know, I believe this is the second time you're having snow here in Portland. And while this is nothing really severe, I'm still moving pretty fast, you know, I'm still going, you know, let's see, 65 miles an hour. So it's not slowing me down, but it can. All this temperature need to do is drop another couple, 2-3 degrees, and this will become a nightmare quickly. So one time I remember I was on vacation and I was driving through Northern California. I was crossing, going from west, from 495 over to I-5. I was going over the mountains, and this was several years ago. Guess what? It started to snow, and it started to snow to the point where I had to slow down. I was driving about 30 miles to an hour because I could not go faster. It was too much snow. So we need to take this part of our preps. Even we are facing spring, and snow is more and more unlikely on a daily basis. But as this snow here in Portland shows us today, it can happen pretty much any time unless it's middle of the summer. And even I think in the middle of the summer, if you are in a high elevation somewhere in Wyoming or Colorado, it can probably snow, depending where you live. Of course, if you live in Wyoming, there is probably no need to bug out, because most places in Wyoming are quite kind of small towns, small cities. So if you live in one of those states, there is probably no need for you to bug out. But I just used it as an example. Anyway, we need to take this in consideration. We need to have some kind of cables in our car, in our bug out vehicle, whatever the vehicle may be. We need to have cables that we can put on our tires. We need to have some kind of extra traction devices we can put under our tires in case we get stuck. We need to have small shovel, even one of those foldable shovels will do. Better than your bare hands, you know, as I had to do once. I was stuck once and I was grabbing snow with my bare hands, no gloves, no shovel. This was a long time ago. This was about 15 years ago or more. By the way, the snow is getting now a little bit more. I'm right now in Vancouver, Washington. I'm heading to Seattle right now, and there is considerably more snow on the ground, even slush on the road now. Portland roads, they were really clear, as you could see in this video. I'm gonna get out of this lane because this lane is becoming really slushy. I have brand new tires on the car, which is good, but they are not snow tires, they're just all seasons. So I just wanted for everybody to take a note of this. 14th of March, and we are having pretty serious snow. I'm telling you, if the temperature drops anymore, it will start piling up quick. So make it part of your preps, you know. Try to stay home no matter what happens. Same thing if you bug out and you're gonna stay somewhere in some campground or tent, unless you have bug out place, bug out retreat, that's different, you know. You have actually some kind of solid shelter, that's where you have stove inside and so on and so forth. That's different. If you're gonna bug out and you're gonna camp out somewhere in your tent, it's also gonna be much more difficult with the snow. The only thing that's positive about snow is you don't need to search too long for the water, because snow is everywhere. You just need to melt it and then sanitize it, filter it, clean it, and boil it perhaps, and you have your water. Alright everybody, have a good day, get prepared, do your last minute preps. If you haven't prepped yet, please do so now. There is still supply in the stores. I doubt you'll find toilet paper. There is none in Portland, for an example. I went to yesterday in Seattle area to a couple of stores, and most of the stores were out of toilet paper, completely out. In a couple of stores I did find some, so I bought a few more rolls just for good measure. And so you're not gonna find toilet paper if you haven't prepared. That's one item that you probably won't find, at least in these two states. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but there is still other supplies left. By the way, last night my wife went to look for some more supplies in the stores. Tuna fish, for example, in the cans is gone. She could not find it. She was only able to buy tuna in the premium kind, in packages. It's a little better quality, but it's also a lot more expensive. But she bought that because, you know, chances are even that will disappear from the shelves. And then what? You know, and tuna is a great source of protein. Additionally, it tastes great. So tuna is good. So anyway, go to the store. Go to stores now. There's a car in the ditch. Look at that. Look at that. Somebody already got in trouble. Anyway, go to stores now. As soon as you wake up, as soon as you hear this video, or anyone else's video. It doesn't matter whose video. We are all in this crap heat defense scenario, and we need to get prepared. There is still ample supply at the stores of food and goods. Some things are gone, like soap. Same thing in Portland. You can't find soap of any kind. Forget antibacterial, even regular soap you cannot find. So my advice, try to go to the outskirts of the city, to the smaller towns. In my opinion, that's where you have more chances of finding what you're looking for. Less people, less crazy people, because people in the city are typically crazy in the sense of they're not preparing ever for anything, and if there is a panic, suddenly they start to buy everything. Like yesterday, my sister, she told me she witnessed one guy, she told this to me yesterday, but this happened the day before. One guy bought $200 worth of toilet paper. I'm not sure what he's gonna do with it. Maybe he's gonna sell it on the Craigslist for $10 a roll. I have no idea. Or maybe he's just preparing for the next couple of years to wipe himself. Or maybe he has 12 kids. Who knows the reasons? But the fact is, he bought $200 worth of toilet paper. And there was lots of other people who were buying almost just as much. So people are panicking, and people that live in the country, I think naturally they are some sort of preppers. Even if they don't consider themselves preppers, they are still preppers, because in the country, in the winter time, when electricity goes out, often they don't fix it for a few days. So people automatically are in the prepper mind, you know, to have these supplies, to have everything. Because even something basic like broken wire and you have no electricity for a few days, you need your toilet paper and candles and batteries and everything else. Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up. I wish everybody good day. Please, while there is still chance, while there is still supply on the shelves, while there is no lockdown, while there is no martial law yet, go out and buy. Another thing, if you have place to store it, if you can, at least get some gasoline. Get those 5-gallon gas cans. Get 3 or 4 of them. So that would be equivalent of a gas tank. In case you do need to bug out and there's no electricity, gas stations don't work, or maybe they're just out of gas, you're prepared in that sense. Even if you don't have to bug out, if you have a generator, you're gonna need that gas. And even if you have no bugging out plans, no generator, that gas, if you put a gas stabilizer in it, it's gonna last, they claim, minimum a year. I have tested personally gasoline with a gas stabilizer. I kept it there for over 2 years. I put it in my car and it was working just fine. And when you do buy gas for storage, buy higher octane gas, buy super. As far as I know, octane drops in the gas as it sits. So if you buy regular gas, which is 87 or 86 in certain states, then after a year it might be 75 or something. If you buy super, 91 and higher, it might drop a little bit, but it'll still be good octane to use. And again, I'm not claiming that as a fact. I heard this once. Makes sense to me. Anyway, that gas you can always use. Or, for an example, you have small emergency. For an example, you gotta go to the hospital and there is no gas. You have your gas. Okay, everybody have a good day. Please subscribe if you haven't. Videos are coming out 6 days a week, with Sunday being day of rest. And if you enjoy this kind of material, these kind of topics, that's what I usually talk about. Occasionally I do some other videos, but I talk about crap hit the fan because it is It is very important. It is what is gonna save our lives if we are prepared. Or if it's not even going to the extent of saving life, it will make our lives a lot easier. And it will just go easier to go through crap hit the fan. Alright, please like this video and share if you find it useful. We'll see you in the next upload. Take care.